Hold tight, football fans, because the action is non-stop. Vincent Kompany's Bayern Munich have already clinched the Bundesliga title, but they're far from finished. They're gearing up for a special DFB Cup clash against Bayer Leverkusen, a rematch of their 2020 final victory. This isn't just another game. It's the 8th meeting between these titans since 2024, following a Champions League battle and a recent 1-1 draw where Luis Diaz saved a point for Bayern. Kompany says it's not about revenge, it's about writing a new story, and we'll have all the details.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSockets Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
The drama doesn't stop in Germany. Freiburg is reeling after a last-gasp heartbreak in their Europa League semi-final against Braga. Goalkeeper Noah Adubalu was seconds away from hero status, but a hesitant reaction led to a winning goal for the Portuguese side. A controversial no call on a foul set the stage, and a late rebound goal sealed Freiburg's fate. We'll break down the controversial calls and the devastating loss that leaves Freiburg's European dreams hanging by a thread. And back to the Bundesliga, where Bayern Munich is preparing for a rotation-heavy match against Heidenheim. While Bayern have the title secured, Heidenheim is fighting for their survival, needing a miracle to avoid relegation. Budu Zivzivadze is the man to watch for Heidenheim, scoring in his last 3 games, but injuries are piling up for both sides. We'll preview the tactical battle and the stakes as Bayern's second string faces a desperate Heidenheim side. Finally, Manchester United are setting their sights on Bayer Leverkusen's Ezequiel Palacios, a €50 million Argentine midfielder they believe is the complete replacement for Casemiro. The 27-year-old is at the peak of his powers and could bring control and composure to United's midfield. But they're not alone. Manchester City is also monitoring the situation. Don't miss our full breakdown of this potential transfer saga. Now hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and stay locked in for all the latest football news. Bayern Munich, fresh off securing their 34th Bundesliga title with a 4-2 victory over Stuttgart, are turning their focus to the DFB Cup, aiming to reach the final for the first time since 2019-20. Standing in their way is a familiar foe, Bayer Leverkusen. This marks the 8th encounter between the two powerhouses since September 2024, a rivalry intensified by a recent Champions League last 16 clash and a 3-0 Bayern win earlier this season. While their most recent meeting ended in a 1-1 draw, with Leverkusen taking an early lead before Bayern's Luis Diaz equalized, head coach Vincent Kompany insists the team won't be seeking revenge. "These are very special games," Kompany stated, emphasizing the importance of consistent preparation and process. "It's not about revenge. We only deal with what lies ahead of us. Tomorrow is another new story." Bayern and Leverkusen previously met in the 2019-20 Cup final, a match Bayern won 4-2. The stage is set for another compelling chapter in this increasingly heated rivalry. Freiburg suffered a devastating late defeat to Braga in the first leg of their Europa League semi-final clash, falling 1-0 thanks to a last-gasp goal. The match, played in Braga, saw a controversial refereeing decision and a heartbreaking moment for Freiburg goalkeeper Noah Adubalu. Braga took an early lead through Demir Tiknez, capitalizing on a defensive error from Jordi Makengo and a precise pass from Victor Gomez. Freiburg responded with a goal from Vincenzo Grifo, assisted by Niklas Beste, but the equalizer came amidst controversy as a clear foul on Igor Matanovic by Vitor Carvalho went unpunished, denying Braga a potential red card. Braga captain Ricardo Horta was forced off with an injury, adding to the drama. The second half saw a flurry of near misses and contentious calls. Adubalu, who has a strong penalty-saving record, kept Freiburg in the game, denying Rodrigo Salazar from the spot. However, his hesitation in the dying moments proved costly. A rebound from Adubalu's save on Vitor Carvalho was pounced upon by substitute Mario Dorjels, securing a narrow victory for Braga. Freiburg now faces an uphill battle in the return leg at Europa Park Stadion, while Braga prepares for a Liga Portugal match against Estoril Praia before traveling to Germany. Freiburg also has a Bundesliga fixture against Wolfsburg, to contend with before the crucial second leg. Bundesliga action resumes with Bayern Munich hosting Heidenheim, a match carrying unexpected weight despite the champions already securing the title. Bayern, prioritizing their upcoming Champions League clash with Paris Saint-Germain, are expected to heavily rotate their squad, a strategy that nearly backfired last week against Mainz, where they trailed 0-3 at halftime before a late comeback. This opens a potential window for Heidenheim, who are battling fiercely to avoid relegation. Heidenheim's recent 2-0 victory over St. Pauli has injected new life into their campaign, but they remain 4 points from the relegation playoff spot with just 3 games left. A win against Bayern, however unlikely, is crucial. The teams previously met earlier this season, with Bayern securing a dominant 4-0 victory, but the current circumstances dramatically alter the dynamic. Heidenheim will be relying heavily on the form of striker Budu Zivzivadze, who has scored in his last 3 matches and is key to their survival hopes. Bayern will be without Gnabry, Guerrero, Karl, and Bischoff, but otherwise have a full squad available, though a heavily rotated lineup featuring youth players is anticipated. Heidenheim face absences with the Kante brothers and Hansak ruled out, while Ibrahimovic, Gimber, and Kaufmann are doubtful. Following their emotional win against St. Pauli, manager Frank Schmidt is expected to maintain a similar approach. Predicted lineups see Erbig starting in goal for Bayern with a back 4 of Stanisic, Kim, Ido, and Lamer. Heidenheim will counter with Ramage in goal, and a forward line featuring Zivzivadze and Dinksy. Manchester United are reportedly targeting Bayer Leverkusen's Ezequiel Palacios as a potential replacement for Casemiro. The 27-year-old Argentine midfielder, described as a complete player, is believed to be available for around €50 million, a sum Manchester United are well equipped to handle. Palacios' ability to shield the defense and disrupt opposition attacks makes him an ideal candidate to bolster United's midfield. While negotiations are expected to begin at the €50 million mark, convincing Palacios to make the move is anticipated to be relatively straightforward, given his desire for a new challenge and the allure of joining a global powerhouse. However, Manchester City are also monitoring the situation, potentially viewing Palacios as a valuable backup option for Rodri. Palacios, currently at the peak of his career, is seeking a regular starting role, and a move to Old Trafford could provide just that, offering him a guaranteed place in the starting 11. Versatile enough to play as either a defensive or central midfielder, Palacios would bring control and composure to the Manchester United squad. The transfer saga is developing, and it remains to be seen which club ultimately secures his signature.